morning, everybody. Welcome to the pre-market live show. Today is Monday, January 12th. The market's red after the Fed Powell whole incident last night that we were talking about. So let's see what's going to be happening here. But first, all information presented here is for educational and informational purpose only, not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence. How is everybody this morning? There you go. It's your red heat map. I guess Walmart likes the news. I don't know. Walmart seems to be the green one right there. Look at it jumping up. Walmart and Google unveiled a Gemini shopping integration on Sunday at NRF with U.S. launch plan, but no date disclosed. So there you go. And then Google's down this morning, and that just says that Alphabet deepens retail push and blah, 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 and a whole bunch of other stuff. But let's go ahead and see what's going on. I still don't see my Jolie's jumper, so I'm definitely concerned about Asian Jolie. Let's see what's happening over here with some of the big gainers. BDSX right there cruising along this morning. Check it out right now, and let's see. It looks like it is hitting some resistance in this area. We'll see. That one could get pumped up a little bit today and still continue to run. ABVX right there. Abivax, that one's trying to run up. And ANPA, that one's cruising along. It's in the top. Dawn was running this morning in INBS, and KC right there jumping up. King Soft Cloud Holdings right there, and that VWAV still running up. We were early on that. That 10, we were looking at that last night, and that's cruising along. So a few of them that are running up this morning, HYFT and ZNTL right there. And then, of course, our critical metals is still cruising along right there. I guess I got rid of them options way too early, I would say. I called that one out as well, CRML. And let's see, that Creative Global one was been running up there. So a couple ones that are running up there. Janica, good morning to you. Let's see, Luis Rodriguez, a red day, thanks to the comments made last night by, let's say, Dead Man Walking, Jerome Powell. NASDAQ futures down 0.84%. Dow futures down minus 0.74%. The Powell investigation is not a great look for the Fed and U.S. government and U.S. markets as a whole. I agree. And the Powell comments are very strong. It looks like he is happy to go head-to-head with the president. And quite honestly, if he does, I don't think it's going to end well for him. Yeah, it usually don't end well for people when they go head-to-head with presidents or, of course, Trump right there. So anyway, that's what our market looks like. And let's go through. We'll see what our SPY Mag 7 big caps, they all look like. Let's see if we can find anything popping up here. And here's our news stories, why the market is now more sensitive to the latest battle between Jerome Powell and Trump. Dow futures fall 300 points as Trump DOJ opens up a criminal investigation into Fed Chair Powell's stock market today. The Dow futures fall. Gold hits record after prosecutors launch Powell probe. I do have some GDX GDL calls, so they should be up nicely this morning. And the DOJ opens up criminal probe into Fed Powell. Me and Ben were talking about them on Friday, hedging again, and that was hedging against Iran, not even against our Fed. That's hilarious. And Iran, nothing hedged over there, but we did make a perfect hedge against our Fed somehow. And the dollar dips, gold at record highs as U.S. prosecutors target Fed's Powell right there. So very interesting, that's for sure. And let's go ahead and see what's going on with our market right here. Our SPY is down right there, $4. It's back to $6.90. It had an interesting look. It looked like it wanted to pop, and now it's pulling back right now. It still don't even look that bad. Look at that thing. That thing looks pretty good, to be honest with you. Holy cow. Let's see. That does not have a bad look at all right there for the SPY. We'll see what it wants to do today. But that could easily just bounce right back up and just brush off the news. Qs right here are pulling back, and they don't look too bad either. So they don't look too bad, I'll be honest with you. The market right there, I thought it was going to be coming down a little bit more, but it's not really dipping down that hard in IWM. So it could turn right back around. Maybe not definitely today, but it could move right back tomorrow and go right to green and not even phase it. So we'll see what all the comments are today and exactly all the reactions here today. The U.S. futures fall as Fed independence fears and political tensions drive risk-off sentiment, with banks hit by credit card rate cap proposal. That would be nice, huh? If 10% cap right there, that would be pretty wild, I'd say, for a year. And that might help people out. So yeah, that would be interesting right there. And let's see what's going on. So we looked at our Qs, our SPY, our IWM is down a little bit as well. Not too bad right there. How about Apple? Well, they're all going to be down a little bit, but Apple looks like it's getting set up right here, guys. Unless it's going to base out, but not with them three green candle looks. We'll have to keep an eye on it as it's approaching its earnings at the end of the month right here. So we're going to have some earnings plays coming up real soon right there, and that is Apple. And then Amazon was looking good. It's pulled back a little bit, and it still don't look bad. It looks like a little healthy pullback. And Google was pulling back a little bit, and again, not looking bad. They had some news with Walmart and Meta right here. It is pulling back some. And that didn't look bad on Friday. It still doesn't look too bad right there. I'd say this isn't going to hurt the market too much. Microsoft, a little bit of pullback right now. And NVIDIA is pulling back some as well. But that looked like it wanted to pull back. And let's see what Tesla's up to. Tesla is down a little bit, but it should shake this right off as well. So not too bad right there. Here's AMC. It pulled back a little bit. It obviously ran up to that 170. It's at 163 and still looking pretty strong. Looks like a little healthy pullback on AMC right there, but that's I did get rid of the options. Maybe I'll check it out. They look like it's going to run some. AMC looks like it could run some more. I'll be looking at them options again. Mine expired this Friday coming up, so it didn't really matter. And I was locking in those profits over the weekend, but that was a crazy call right there, AMC. So there you go. Nobody was talking about AMC, and it did get a nice pop. GameStop's about to pop. We should be looking at options on GameStop right here as well. So yeah, GameStop and AMC look like they're setting up again, guys. I don't know what's going on. The meme stocks want to kick off the market again. It happens often. Chewy right here kind of hanging out, but Unity was pulling back, and it is still pulling back a little bit at the moment. And what about Netflix was down this morning? I did see that, but not much. And I think this one's getting set up right there. And then you have your Warner Brothers was up Friday. It's down right now, and that doesn't look too bad either. And PSKY is up a little bit this morning, but it does look like it's trying to make a little bottom base, but it's pretty red. I don't know about that. PSKY, I'd probably stay away from it right at the moment. AVGO is dipping down, and your semiconductors are pulling back because MU's pulling back a little bit. TSM pulling down a little bit. And again, they don't even look bad. I would say keep an eye on this SMCI. This one's getting set up to get moving relatively soon. And AMD right here. Oh, what it's Ben just said EVTV. Let's check that bad boy out. He just posted that bad boy. Oh, look at that guy right there. That's pretty good. EVTV. That's a little popper right there. You guys can keep an eye on. There you go. The few people in here. You get a little insight into the Discord right there. So there you go. So EVTV, Envirotech Vehicles running right there, and could keep some momentum this morning. So you can keep an eye on that. Look at that big jump up at 7 a.m. and looking pretty strong. So I like it right there. So there you go. I like that one. And let's see what we think about it. It actually does look pretty good right there, I must say. So I'll have to go on and let everybody know. That does look pretty strong to continue up. Obviously early in the morning here, it's going to be running, and you got to watch it as it pulls back, or as if it gets all the way up to that 95, because this thing will get pumped up right here. So that's a good one. Thanks, Ben. We'll have to message you real quick. I'll do it real fast while we're on here. Ready? I'll just respond real fast. Hold on. Where'd that go? Right there. Open this up. Give me 1 second. And that one looks good to me. I like it. Fire. Hold on. Looks good to run up this morning. There we go. All right, there we are right there. Okay, EVTV, there you go. And where were we? SMCI, AMD was pulling back some more. It's starting to pull back a little bit more too, so watch for that trend line down there. And then QCOM down here, or over here, is pulling back down there. And snow was coming down. It was going up the other day. Snow is definitely coming down right there. Look at that bad boy. And then your PayPal is not looking bad. I would say if any of them look pretty good right now, it would be PayPal at the moment. So check that one out right there. And let's see what else is going on. Intel has been looking pretty good. It's pulling back this morning. I saw it on my watch list right there. It was pulling back. Dell's trying to get set up. That's pulling back a little bit. See how much it wants to pull back. And then IBM right here is pulling back a little bit. And that has a little setup. So definitely a red market this morning. Palantir, it doesn't look bad though. Palantir with that pullback this morning, not looking great right there. I mean, it will bounce off that trend line, but if you had it going in over the weekend, it wasn't looking great. We were talking about the other day. Sophie right here's the other one that's not looking too bad. SoFi, SOFI, that and PayPal are probably the two that look pretty decent this morning. So you can keep an eye on them two right there. And let's see what Marin Ryder up to. And Bitcoin's at 90,618. It looked great last night. Ethereum's still at 31.14. Solana's at 139. So they're not looking bad. Ripple's at 204. And Stellar's at 22 cents. So there you go with them. And Mara, like I said, just kind of hanging out there. Riot down a little bit right there. Clean Spark is up a little bit, but not much. And then MicroStrategy right here is up 70 cents, but nothing crazy. So there you go with some of your crypto ones. BMNR right here, that is up a little bit this morning. Remember, we were talking about these guys looking pretty good this morning. SBET right there, UPXI, and then I'll take a quick look at crypto. But yeah, these guys aren't looking too bad. They were setting up yesterday. That's a red market, right? Well, that's the crypto market, but it is down from yesterday, obviously. It was looking good. You have a little healthy pullback. I thought Bitcoin might continue to run on that Powell news since the dollar was going to get beat up. I thought maybe people would hedge against it, but apparently not. And people are getting spooked and selling here too. You can see it pulling back. It was looking great last night. Ethereum still not looking bad. They're just coming down to that MACD. And yeah, Trump, what timing right there, I must say, because crypto is getting ready to start ripping back up. And then, like I said, it could just be one of these days where it just reacts today and then tomorrow they forget everything that even happened and no one cares. So we'll see what happens with that situation right there. But let's cruise through the rest of these guys and see what Robinhood's up to. It's down a little bit, setting up. Coinbase not looking too bad right there on the 20. So I can't say that they really look bad. They are pretty red this morning and pulling back, but they don't look that bad. And they'll get turned around. Webull right there looks good. That's another one I would say to add to the list with PayPal and SoFi. They all look pretty decent this morning anyway. And Space right here, SPCE, Progressive G, how are you this morning? And Virgin Galactic just kind of hanging out there. Let's see, Lockheed Martin is up more this morning. Huntington Ingalls, that's up a little bit. And Northrop Grumman is up this morning. So there you go with some with your aerospace and defense looking pretty good there, so you can keep an eye on them. And then, of course, Space right here, Boeing, I mean, is down a little bit, but that doesn't look bad either. Just kind of flat at the moment. DJT is slowly moving, but just be careful with that one. It already had a pretty nice pop there. Nike pulling back a little bit. It had run up last week and on anticipation of the whole entire Supreme Court and tariff ruling. And then they just didn't even have any ruling on Friday. That was pretty wild. And then Nike and Lulu took some nice dips there. Lulu trying to regain itself and recoup some, but it did take a nice dip. And let's see what McDonald's is doing right here. Like I said, whenever the market's going down, you can figure McDonald's seems to want to do good. I don't know why, but it does. Disney was looking good. It is pulling back there, but setting up, looking nice. And I don't think today is going to be the end of the world. Oxy right there, not too bad. ExxonMobil, it is down a little bit. And that DXYZ right here is up a little bit this morning. And there you go. Let's see what ASTS is doing. That is down. Galaxy's probably down. Oh, that's actually up. That's surprising right there. And ONDS right here is up a little bit, but nothing crazy. And these guys are all in the top. Nuclear is even coming down. Well, it's a little leveled out right there. Nothing too crazy, I would say. And SMR, that's just down a little bit. Yeah, so they're not bad right there. OKLO is pulling back a hair, and REMX right there is up, and that's your strategic metals right there. CRML. Critical metals, man, we should have kept that one. Holy cow. Did we have that in like the $10 range or something crazy? Holy cow, I called that one perfectly as well. And let's see, so Chipotle right there is down. What's Cracker Barrel doing? That's pulled back a little bit. It does look like it's setting up, though. I have to give you that. And that you right there, just kind of hanging out at the moment. What's fly up to? I think these guys are pulling back. They are a little bit. They're not. We'll see what they look like as they open. And then, of course, your silver's way up there, and it's at an all-time high. And gold as well, 421. Bam! Look at that. I think Ben had mentioned that. I said 420 on gold. He said 421, I think. And there you go. He was right. He got the 421 right there. I'll take it. I ain't going to complain. That's for sure. Obviously, you can see your 420 resistance was like right there. And that's what we were looking at. But there you go. Look at gold jumped up there this morning. That looks good right there. And what's that MREO doing? That's still trying to run up a little bit. It certainly is. Remember, we were saying, look at that bad boy last night. And what else is looking decent? Or we can look at Redwire up a little bit. That was looking good. UPS down a hair. And FedEx right here is down a little bit as well. Let me go through and see what's going on in the messages. Sam, how are you this morning? He created the dip so he could send the rip before the midterms. You're not kidding, Sam. You are it's become almost predictable. Yeah, I mean, you are probably dead on the money. Absolutely, because you have to have the markets at like all-time highs and cruising at the towards the end of the year right there. So you're absolutely right. And let's see what's going on right here. And yeah, Pal's out what, May 1st or something, whatever his last day is. But yeah, they're gonna mess with this guy and make that a whole spectacle. And I don't know if we really need to, but it's going to happen. So here we go. Earnings kick off this week. Tuesday, we have JP Morgan. Wednesday, Bank of America and WFC, which is what? WFC is in Wells Fargo. I couldn't think of the bank name. And then Citigroup, right? C. And MS is obviously Morgan Stanley right there. GSAI is at, I don't know what that is. I was thinking of GXAI. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. That one. Delta right there. They have some earnings coming up. BK is Bank of New York, and BLK right there is BlackRock, and then PNC we know. So there's earnings kicking off this week, Tuesday, and our movers in the pre-market we're at 10. Right there, we were talking about that last night. Silver, obviously, we were talking about. JNUG right here was running up pretty big. Look at that bad boy popping up. SGN, signing day sports, that's trying to run. Remember, we've looked at that a bunch of times. And let me see, CLRB. That is up a little bit. Oh, that's no, never mind. That's collector bioscience. I was thinking of CRLB, right? Or Cracker Barrel, whatever the heck it is. CRBL. That's what I was thinking. CRBL. But wait, what the heck is Cracker Barrel? Why can't I think of it? CBRL. I don't know what the heck I'm looking at. CBRL. That's Cracker Barrel right there. That's down a little bit, but I'm telling you, that looks pretty good to get set up right there, possibly for a quick run, and then it's coming down. So that's what it looks like at the moment. ZC. I don't know what ZC is right there. Not familiar with that. CRML, critical metals. Ben calls it Carmel. It's pretty funny, but yeah, look at that thing. We are super early on that one. ANPA right there. Rich Sparkle Holdings, and that thing's running up as well right now. So there you go. Luis Rodriguez, not familiar with ANPA. And that bread, is it finally pulling back there? Wow, it finally got a good pull back there. That thing had been running up like crazy, that bread financial. And let's see, your MSGS is good old Madison Square Garden, whatever the heck they're up to. I didn't even know that they had a publicly traded company when we were in New York. We saw this place. I mean, I used to take the train in the Madison Square Garden. That's where it always comes into. And so, yeah, there you go. It's a publicly traded company. I had no idea. Still defying gravity up high in the clouds. It certainly is way up there at the top. And Boyle and VKTX right here, the good old Viking, what are they up to? They were pulling back because of the weight loss thing. If I could find the K. Here we go. VKTX right here. And that's at the bottom. That's going to be getting set up, guys. I'd say we should keep an eye on this VKTX right there. The good old Vikings going to get set up. Boyle right here is up a little bit. And Gush is just kind of hanging out. That's your oil and gas, but it looks like natural gas is going to get a nice little boost, and it's been pulling back pretty big right now. ETHU is the Ethereum 2-time Ether, and like I said, crypto not looking bad even with that little pullback. SOLZ, that one we've looked at. We were looking at, had them on the list. I took them off, but look at that. That's running up there. And that SOLT, it is the 2-time Solana, same situation right there. Market was doing so well, and then Trump decided to torpedo it just like he did in February last year. Interesting, because he is creating a dip right there, that's for sure. And so NESTech, that one was getting set up right there. It's in a really good spot, Progressive G, I must say. I think that could be that look right there. We'll look at it today, but it looks like it's trying to get to do something here. And obviously it was running up a little bit, pulled back on Friday, and we'll see what's going on this morning when it opens up, because it doesn't look, I knew that was Friday's candle. That's how I knew it wasn't today. And it doesn't look like it's doing anything just yet this morning there, Progressive G, but we'll look at that this morning in the old Discord. And then Bull isn't looking bad, down 4 cents. Has that look though like that wants to get through to 20 and get rolling? So I think Bull could get rolling right here. That would be nice to see Bull get cruising. That's what the market looks like. Apple, look at Apple right here. Like I said, I think Apple's about to get cruising, guys. I think we might want to add Apple to that list as well. And I did. I had Bull, PayPal, and Sophie right there, guys, this morning. They're the ones looking pretty good. So there you are, Progressive G. Apple looking pretty decent as well. But yeah, Bull right there that we just looked at, not looking too bad. PayPal wasn't looking too bad this morning, as you can see. And Sophie right here, if I type it in correctly, you can see it. And that's up a little bit, not looking too bad, trying to curl up right there. And that's what the market looks like. Let's see what Hertz is up to over here. That was trying to get set up. Let's see if it wants to drive off. It's not looking too bad. Like I said, Hertz trying to set up right there. LEU, that one's not looking bad down there. And these energy ones, Constellation, CEG, just kind of hanging out down there. That Bloom Energy down a little bit this morning. So there you are. And we will have the small cap show today. So at 1 o'clock, we'll be on there. And that's what the market looks like. Look at Sezzle. It looks like it's ready to get sizzling. You might want to add that to the list and get some of that, because that looks really good right there. And then BMNR and them guys aren't looking too bad. We'll see what crypto wants to do. That EOSE, a little bit of pullback. That was looking pretty good as well. Nuclear MP right here. That one's up in the material ones, and CRML. So there you go with them guys. FISV, a little bit of pullback right there this morning. And UAMY just looks pretty good as well. So you keep an eye on them, gold, silver, and them guys. And that's what the market looks like this morning. So there you are, Progressive G and Sam, Lewis Rodriguez, Laptop Travel, Cadence, and Doge Mom and 9. Robin driving to work, Janica hanging out this morning, and everybody else tuning in, like Joseph Levy and all you guys. I greatly appreciate it. Valerie and everybody else. So thank you so much. Be sure to follow along and all that good stuff, and hit the like button on your way out of here. All information presented here is for educational and informational purpose only, not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence, and I hope everybody enjoys their day. We'll see how it actually reacts. It looks kind of red, but like I said, let's see the SPY right here as we go off. It doesn't even look that bad. Hey, look at it. I mean, it has that look like it wants to get bouncing. Maybe it doesn't bounce today, guys, but maybe it just gets set up, stays here. We'll see the initial reaction. It is a red market, but it could turn around. I wouldn't exactly be shorting it down too hardcore right now. That's for sure. You could have a nice little pop coming off, and things could turn around. Apple looking pretty good there, and a couple other ones. So we'll see what happens. And U.S. futures drop as Trump and Fed tensions and credit card crackdown spark financial sector rout right there. So that's why they're all down. JP Morgan and all them guys, because of that whole credit card 10% cap. That'll crush them, but that'll be good for consumers, that's for sure. So there you go, everybody. Nice red market for our Monday morning, January 12th. So be sure to trade smart, lock in profits. Goodbye, good luck, see you later, and have a great day, everybody.